All right, welcome to Sunday Night Charts, but we're going to do it a little differently. I'm going to record it tonight. Guys, I'm on my hotspot. That's my internet connection right here. Yeah. Well, anyway, we're doing our best on the internet through my phone. I don't have any internet connection to the house. I can't stream. My hope is that I can get this recorded, get this uploaded, and then watch it with you. Maybe be there to chat with you guys during the premiere. I've never done a premiere before, so we're going to try it tonight at 8 p.m. Well, if you're watching this now, it's 8 p.m. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Sunday Night Charts. Glad you made it by. My name is Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. Yes, I'm an Elliott wave trader. Simply means I look at the market through a lens of 5s and 3s. Guys, the waves that you see on the chart are made up of 5s and 3s. You put them together with known structures, and you can come away with a pretty predictive, you can come away with pretty predictive possibilities, plural, for where the market might go, and then have invalidations for your ideas so that you can trade them with good consistency, high risk, not high risk, but high reward to risk or low risk reward ratio. And we want to always keep our risk low. So that's what Elliott Wave allows me to do as a trader. It's not the only form of analysis, guys, but it's what I focus in on the channel because there aren't a whole lot of us guys on YouTube. Although we're growing, guys, we're growing. And I'd like to think that I've been a part of that growth in popularizing Elliott Wave theory. I've been around for I've been around since 2000, at least 3 years, offering Elliott Wave videos. So I've been doing this quite a while. And getting better and better all the time. So with that said, guys, what I want to do tonight is ask the question, is there one chart that seems to be so clear that's paving the way for what my analysis needs to look like and what I can see for a high probability? Is there one chart? I'm going to answer yes. I think there's one chart, guys, one magic chart that looks so clear to me that I think by using that chart as the roadmap for where we're headed, it might be the way to go. Guys, I'm thinking there's one key chart for me. So we're going to look at that key mystery chart in just a minute. We're going to look at Bitcoin. I'm going to give you an overview of what I'm thinking. Guys, I've spent so much time on my videos showing you all the possibilities, and there are some other YouTubers out there offering their possibilities. I've got reasons why I don't like a lot of the possibilities that a lot of other YouTubers are offering. I think they ignore a couple of things and then break some rules along the way. I think all of us tend to overlook certain things in the market. And guys, I just have an eye for wave shape. I think I have a pretty good idea of where we might be going. But let me tell you, don't put a lot of stock into it. Just realize that I feel confident in what I got, but I'm also got a healthy level of skepticism. In other words, I teach my people that we all need to be skeptical of our counts. When we believe our Elliott Wave counts too much, that's when we get in a lot of danger. And the market likes to humble you. When you think you got it, when you think you know it, the market does something completely different. So I'm aware of that as well. So anyway, what I want to just try to boil this down to is about 30 minutes of content maybe or less here, just kind of show you what I'm looking at in the Elliott Wave world, in the crypto market. Don't forget, not trying to give you financial advice, simply sharing my point of view and the reasons why I think what I'm thinking from an Elliott Wave perspective. With that, let's jump into the charts, guys. Let's jump into the charts. My main ideas up to this point I've been talking about for quite a while now is that this is an A wave that I think finished either here or it finished over here. I think there's a case that can be made for both, but my preference is that it's right here, ends right here. Now another idea is that this is the B wave. Sorry about that. My family just came in, had to pause the video in the middle of making it. They just walked in the door. So anyway, yeah, I'm seeing this as an A wave here. I'm seeing this as a possible B that we're going to finish right here because we have problems. I'm going to show you all the problems here. And then I'm looking for maybe a C wave, okay? So we're looking for a C wave to finish. This is an idea here, okay? Now, the way we would have to count this, we would have to count this in 3 waves, okay? And we'd really, for this count, really need to put the top right here, to be honest with you. We'd have to put the top here for this particular count. We'd be looking for 5 waves down. And this is just problematic, okay? This count is just problematic based upon the wave structure that we're getting and 2 other wave structures that I've shared previously. The first wave structure that makes this count problematic is that wave right there. And the second wave structure that makes this count problematic is right there. Okay. The final idea is that this as a 5-wave move, this is taking too long. This is taking too long where it is in the count. And so there's lots of little problems with this count that I have personally gravitated away from this count as my primary idea because of those problems. You say, what's wrong with this one? Well, this wave right here, okay, you've got to do something with it. Now, right here, this could be a 1, 2, which it needs to be, right? So how do you count this as 3 waves if that's a 1, 2? You would have to say that's 1, 2, and that this is like a 3, 4, and then a 5, okay? Some kind of a very odd shaped count right there, okay? That's 5 waves. It's finished. It's done. It's kaput. You could bring this up here and make that a 4 and a 5. You could do all manner of things to deal with that as a 1, 2. Then you'd have to make that an ABC, and then you get a 5, 3, 5. Okay, fine. You can deal with it that way, but then you have a problematic wave right there, okay? And what's wrong with that? Well, this wave can't end. It can't end with 3 waves because the 5th wave has to end. The 5th wave of this would be a 5, 3, 5 is what we would be looking at, guys. And you can't end the fifth wave of a 5-wave move with 3 waves. You just can't do it. And guys, I've seen people trying to count this as 5 waves. It's just so hilarious. All the different counts people are trying to get 5 waves out of that. It just isn't 5 waves. And if you try to get 5 waves out of it, so those are my problems with the current wave, okay, with this as an A, B, C. So while I'm not going to go out and say this is completely invalid, I'm going to say that it's not my number 1 count, and those are the reasons. I've got too many, ticks that say, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all for those reasons. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that as a potential count. Okay, now. One of the waves that I've been one of the counts that I've been gravitating to here. I got to watch this wave here because it's kind of pumping on me a little bit. I want to make sure it doesn't get away from me here. I'm in a short right now, but ready for a little bit of a long if need be. We'll see what the wave does. But let me show you what I'm looking at here. Another count that I've been liking here and gravitating to is, in fact, we're going to call this a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to count this as 5. Okay, but we're going to put the end of 5 right here. The 5th wave is going to go right there. Now, how does that work? Well, that would be 5 waves. Now, I think some people are thinking, yeah, this is a 5 waves beginning the next impulse to the upside. In my world, this is 5 waves that's actually ending the 3rd wave. That I'm actually going to put the top of a 3rd wave move right here. That we're actually beginning right here a much longer term 4th wave. And we're beginning it in a 3-wave move. That we have 3 waves to the downside, 3 waves to the upside, and now I've got this as an impulse down, 5 waves to the downside. And that's a 3, 3, 5, okay, expanded flat. And that is the first wave, that's the A wave of a much more complex and longer term correction that's going to be playing out over the next weeks and months. Probably months, okay? So what we have going on currently then, in light of that, is that this is the reversal, and this is the A wave, okay? All right, I had to pause the video again. I apologize. You might not experience it in the video, but I got kids tonight, guys. Anybody got kids out there? I got kids tonight. Anyway, looking at this as a 3-wave expanded flat, and what we have going on now would be a 3-wave move, okay, another 3-wave move back to the upside like this to retest at least 50 to 60% of that wave, okay? Now, which would be followed by another 3-wave move of some shape, variety, or size, okay? And that could be a simple fourth wave. That could be a wave 4, okay, which then is followed by the parabolic fifth wave that everybody's hoping that we'll get. That's where we go up to, up to 100K or higher, right? That could be, or guys, we could be in for another 3 wave, and then it gets even more complex, and it just eats up time, okay, all the way down, gets back down to 20K or 28K, whatever, gets back down to these lows right down here, okay? So there's all kinds of things that could happen here, but what I'm saying is that an idea here is that the third wave ended right here, and this was the 5th wave of the third, okay? And then now we're getting a more complex correction. Time will tell. I don't know. I don't go that far out usually. I don't like to spend a lot of time going that far out in thinking because it's really pointless. It's really pointless. But that's an overarching idea just to consider. Right now, what's useful to me is to think about if this is a 3-wave move, regardless of what I label it, regardless. And this is where a lot of Elliott wave guys go wrong. I think you don't need to have complex charts to trade Elliott. I think you need to have a context. Yes. I think you ought to be able to justify your count. Yes. But you don't have to have a major complex chart with letters and numbers all over it, to make yourself look like you know what you're doing. I think at the end of the day, you need to have a general idea of what the wave shape is, the Fibonacci's are, and then in order to trade, all you need is what's next? Logically, if that's true, if the last wave was such and such in the grander context of such and such, then what's next? So if this is a 5-wave move that finished something here, and this is a 3-wave move, okay, now what can I expect next? I can expect one of two things. I can expect an impulse that begins with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It makes higher highs. I don't think that's likely. Or I can expect a 3-wave move back, okay? If this is 3 waves that finished right here, that's an if-then statement, which only time will tell. It looks to be fairly plausible that is a plausible count. Now this is a 3-wave move that finished right here. I think this is my most plausible count in my opinion. It deals with all the difficult waves, okay? And that what we now have is we're looking for some kind of an ABC back to the upside. My favorite idea up to this point. Could this wave continue to go down, work its way on down? You better believe it could. Is it going to? I don't know. So let's spend some time just looking at my main idea here. And let's look at the key chart, guys, the magic chart that I was talking about that kind of lets me think, yeah, I'm probably right with that hypothesis. Let's skip over to the ADA chart, which is actually, I've called it a trash chart in the past. But guys, it's my favorite chart right now. And here's why. I want you to identify, number one, that this is a large 3-wave move that's taken quite a bit of time. And you can also notice that we've come down. You can see this my little box down here. We've come down to key levels. Okay, we come down to key levels. Now, I'm calling this a WXY, where the W is 3 waves here. Okay, then the X wave is actually a triangle. And when I was guilty of calling this a trash chart because I didn't understand what was going on in this little range right here when it was happening. Okay, it was just acting so trashy. I didn't understand the wave pattern until I saw that triangle. Once I saw that triangle, the chart became a lot clearer. So I got a 3-wave move to the downside. I've got an X wave here. So that's W, that's X for the triangle. Then I've got an expanded flat that's extended here. Really extended impulse right now. Okay. Where we have a 3, and now I need 5 waves to finish this extended expanded flat. It's really deep. It's just an idea here, guys. Now, if I've handled this correctly, I'm identifying here at the bottom of this wave, guys, another triangle. Now, what you have to know is triangles happen only in key places, okay? The key places. And first off, they happen basically when you see a triangle. It's letting you know that there's only one more wave to come. There's only one more wave to come all right, in the time frame that you're trading it, looking at it. In other words, this X wave is letting you know there's a W, there's an X, we've got a Y wave. Okay, in other words, it happens in the position of the X. Okay, now with this is a smaller triangle, and it is much more compatible with this impulse wave. So this triangle is happening in the fourth wave. Okay, and that's generally where triangles happen in the B wave of an ABC, in an X wave of a WXY, or in the fourth wave of an impulse wave. And that's what I'm seeing right down here. And that fits perfectly with what I have here with my fibs. When I pull my fibs here, I've got a target zone of the 1-to-1 extension right here at $1.10. But I also have the 127 extension down here at 77 cents. And so what you'll see here is that I'm seeing this triangle as a fourth wave. If I zoom in on that price action a little bit, we can look at it a little bit more carefully. You've got an A, B, C, D, E. It's a beautiful triangle. What you'll notice if I go back to the 4-hour chart, that you have a triangle in the RSI as well, which is normal. What's what you normally see when you see a triangle in the RSI as well. So that's important to note. So when I go to the 30-minute time frame to look at this time frame, we got A, B, C, D, E, and then we have an impulse down to be the one wave of the impulse that's going to finish this, the fifth wave of this larger C wave that we're looking at. So we got to bring C down here, okay, and the Y to end down here. And we need 5 waves, okay. And so I've got them delineated right here. You can kind of see right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might get an ending diagonal. We might get, a very quick move to the downside with a little fourth and then a fifth wave. I don't know exactly what's coming tonight or tomorrow, but this is looking really good. The price action on this time frame is looking really good to come on down. The 4-hour chart is also looking really good to just break this to the downside. I see a lot of reasons why I think this count is correct. It's letting me know that this move is about done, and the move, what we would expect to see after this happens, after we get this last move, is a move back to the upside pretty swiftly and quickly. It might be a nice Christmas surprise. Now, I don't think it's going to go up and make new highs necessarily. It might just simply go up in 3 waves. Nevertheless, it's looking like we're in good shape to go up and make a nice big wave to the upside. That's the way it's looking for me. Okay? It could totally go up and make new highs. Could totally do that. Go up very quickly and break these highs. But this count looks super good to me right now. I think it's good. Now, so what we're expecting then on the smaller time frames then and price action is we've already got a 1-2. So we're looking for a fairly quick wave, guys, tomorrow, okay, over the next day or two. A fairly quick wave that kind of moves with some impulsivity to the downside. This is wave 3, okay, and it's going to start trending down to the downside, getting down below these targets. That's the way I'm thinking about it. So in light of that price action that we see there on ADA, can we go now and look and see if we would see the same type of price action where we get pretty much just an impulse to the downside to finish up these wave pattern, something like this to the downside as we look at Bitcoin? Could there be a count? Well, let's go to the smaller time frame on the 30-minute chart and take a peek. Now, with what I'm seeing for Bitcoin here is I'm seeing this as an A wave to the upside, okay? Now, I'm now looking at this as a channel WXY, okay? And this is kind of the wave shape that I'm looking for it to finish, okay? Looks like we're on track for this. That I'd like to see a fairly strong, impulsive wave to the downside that's going to finish up. That's going to finish up this move that would correlate strongly with this finished move right here in the 30-minute time frame. You can see it's about the same size and the same shape of what we'd expect to see in Bitcoin for this to finish up. Target area somewhere around 43K. We could wick down even lower to the 42 area. This could get lower. If I pull the fibs to find target zones, generally speaking, WXYs like to channel, okay, and we'd stay within this channel maybe, or break out of it to the downside to finish up. Shoot, we could even get down here to 41.7, 42. So it's looking pretty decent, guys, for this to play out. And so the way I'm looking at this chart then is overarching count here would be an A. Okay, then I'd be looking for a B, and then a C wave. Okay, and the C wave would come back up here. Nice Christmas surprise, like Christmas bonus for everybody. And then come up and break this top maybe, okay? Snag that liquidity before we go down for another move to the downside. I can totally see targets just depending on where this wave finishes. If it finishes at the 1-to-1, I could totally see 61 or 62K back as potential targets there. So that's an idea. That's an idea. So this is looking really good. I'm watching this, guys, as a potential. It looks nice. It looks good. I was watching Crown the other day, and he hates elite wave traders. I watch him just because I like to watch people of other mindsets trade, and he's a pretty solid dude, and basically he's pretty well rounded and good trader. He was just talking about he could see this move from his perspective too, and he called it an FU wave, okay, and then coming back up to these regions. But he saw the same move that I'm seeing as a potential, but he saw it from his perspective. So I found that to be pretty interesting. A couple other Elliott wave guys I'm looking at are looking at something similar. Now with so many people seeing kind of the same thing, we got to be careful, because a lot of times when we see the same things, they got to do something to shake us out. They got to do something to make it difficult for us so that it's not easy money. So be careful for something hard. We could come break this low down here, and that wouldn't change things really. It really wouldn't, in my opinion. It might change how high this wave goes or not, really. So there's a number of things that can happen, but we're looking for this to work its way out on down. I got the hiccups, guys. I'm sorry. All right, so that's an idea there. Now, let's see if that correlates with what I'm seeing in Ethereum as well. Let's look at Ethereum. Same thing, guys. I'm seeing, you'll notice here from the top, this is the 6-hour chart. I'm seeing this as a 3-wave move. Let's go to the 4 hours, since that's what we were looking at on the other charts. I got another 3-wave move back to the up. So there's my W, there's my X, okay? All right, you can kind of see those playing out there. And then what I've got is a 5-wave move. Now, I know a lot of people are going to have a hard time seeing this as a 5-wave move, but what we do here is you got a 1 and a 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So there's a 5-wave move right there. It looks pretty good. And then you've got this flat right here in the middle. It's a nice little flat right here. So if this idea is correct, what needs to happen now is that this came down as an impulse. We just got a 3-wave pullback. Now this needs to start working its way down pretty impulsively. So I don't want to see it break this top. If this top gets broken, this idea becomes invalid. But again, here's a third chart with an idea looking at that same shape to the downside, that ADA shape that we were looking for. This last move to the downside, an impulse, okay? That's going to go and break the low. I'd like to see that impulse happen tonight, tomorrow as well. Come on and break the low. Okay, come on down, pull up, maybe come hit. We got 32.2, and then we've got we got targets down here at $3,000, even 28.70 down here. I don't know how deep it'll get and how it'll go, but it looks pretty decent as well. If this gets impulsive to the downside. So guys, these are my favorite ideas based upon correlation, based upon fibs and wave analysis, and just intuition as well in the market. It's the way I'm looking at the market, guys. It's the way I'm looking at the market. Then after this, I would expect after this finishes, I'd expect some kind of a move back to the upside. Okay. Now I do have another idea. that actually, instead of this coming down here, it created a flat in here, but I'm starting not to like it so much. So this is just another idea for Ethereum that may or may not play out, guys. Let me just make that really clear. These ideas may or may not play out. It's just an idea. And, if we were doing Sunday night charts, I'd probably exhaust as many ideas as I can. But I just don't think I have it in me tonight as far as making a video exhausting all the ideas out there. For sure, but I think these are my most plausible ideas that I'm expecting, at least watching for, and ready for the chart to do something different. Another possibility here is that, again, if this wave starts to get really impulsive and starts to waterfall to the downside and break this low and keep on going, then I'm going to be gravitating, guys, away from this count here, and I'm going to go back to the ABC chart that we started with at the beginning of the video. Okay, so if this thing starts to pick up speed again, okay, and starts to waterfall back down after taking all this time, it's fine if it does that. It just needs to do it. It needs to pick up speed and get some impulsivity to it. Right now it's having a hard time, but I'd pick back up on this count right here if we start to come down here. We got targets anywhere from 34 to 32, all the way down to 28, all the way down to 20. Okay. All right, so that would be that. Now, guys, there's probably more that I could say here. I could probably look in the macro and give you some ideas. In fact, let's do that. Let's finish up with some of these ideas here and the way I'm seeing the overall macro play out. So I'm going to open up, let's open up the BLX chart here. There we go. Perfect. We're going to go to the log scale here. I don't like log, but log helps me fit it on the chart a little bit better. Let's go to the 3-day chart and kind of understand some of the things within context here. One of the things I don't like about log scale is it doesn't really show the proportionality between these waves very well. And so this being a 1-2 looks so big compared to this wave, when this wave is really, really so big compared to that. Okay, that I really prefer. I prefer regular. In fact, if I put it on regular, you'll kind of see the. Remove my drawings here. You kind of see what I'm talking about. Now you have a really big wave, and it makes sense. You got a 1, 2, 3. That's a deep 4 and a 5. That's the idea that I presented to you tonight, guys, as a possibility that's done. And now what we're getting, that this first wave was a 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. That this is the top of 3. We're now going to get an elongated fourth wave that's going to come back down to these regions here before we get a fifth wave. And so we're going to get an elongated fourth wave that can come down fairly deeply. And this might be the first of 3 waves down. We get 3 waves up, 3 waves down, it could play around here for quite a while, okay, before it finally makes its way. So it could take a year. This could take a year, just playing around in this range before it finally dumps and then goes for the final targets up there for the 5th wave. Okay, so that's the way I'm looking at it. You don't really get that picture. You don't get that picture at all when you look at the log scale. The other thing you miss at log scale is you kind of miss the divergence that's been created in the chart, and this divergence could be made between the 3rd and the 5th wave of the 3rd wave, which is right here. Okay. And notice the hidden bullish divergence that's on the chart, but it's not finished. It's not finished playing out. It needs to come on down some more. This needs to get down here to give us the nice hidden bull that we want to see. Okay, so this is going to play around here for a bit before it goes up, I believe, personally. So that's the way I'm looking at the macro, guys, and that's what I've shared with you tonight, or the implications of it. Okay, so this is actually quite a big structure here, guys, quite a big structure comparatively to the one wave. But when you put it on log, you really don't see that comparative shape. Okay. This looks actually small. Looks like you have so much more room to go, but I really don't think that's the case. I think basically this is a 1, 2. This could be the top of 3. We could get 4 that plays out over time, and then we get a 5th wave up here to, not that high. Shoot, up here to something like that. 100, 200K, something like that for a 5th wave. But that'd be a big move. Really would. All right, guys, there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to get this uploaded and get a premiere, and I've got 20 minutes to do that. So anyway, you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining me tonight. I hope that information's helpful to you, that quick look on the market. Let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. I'll try it once I get my internet fixed this week. Hopefully, Lord willing, we'll be able to get another video out to you, maybe do it live midweek and see what goes on. All right, thanks for being such faithful watchers to the channel. And we'll talk to you later. Good night.